Hello everybody, Wilsten here. I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. And before jumping into the charts, don't forget to smash the like button, share it for friends, and subscribe as well. And let's do it. So let's start with the macro, and then we jump into the micro. And first, let's take a look on volume. So a second. Okay, so let's see. Since May, we have decrease in volume and increase in price. And this is a sort of a red sign, okay? This is not 100% bullish because for upside moves, we want to see upside moves on volume as well. Otherwise, it is not sustainable. And let's take a look for OBV. Just a second, okay. So for OBV, this is a scenario that I highlighted before. Let me show you what is happening on the bigger picture in the site of the buyer's volume. Just a moment. Okay, so here we are not looking for perfect symmetry. Okay, that's not what we are looking for. But as you guys can see, the bulls still in control all the way, their playground, and believe it or not, we still have people who are bearish and calling for new lows, but it's not going to happen, okay? So right now we are trying to find the next pivot, and then we are going for the last leg. And so what does it mean? Second, hold on. Okay, so what does it mean? Let's first take a look here on these candles right here, and then we talk about the next leg, okay? Because I have to go to the weekly chart, otherwise you guys won't be able to see it. So we had this bearish rejection here, which was expected for the key level that we are aiming for. Power candle for July, right after the summer pivot. And right now, this guy right here, let me show you what is happening here. So this level right here is $12,014. Yes. Yeah, it's 12,014.63 cents. So this, for those of you who are new and don't know about my method, this is a perpetual setup for Bitcoin. Okay, it goes down back in the day and goes up all the way to our next target for the next bull run. Believe it or not, I already charted this scenario, and you guys can find this video on Bitcoin playlist in the channel. Okay, so we are trading below this key level right here, which since the end of the hyperbolic move, Bitcoin couldn't stay above it. Okay, and now let's talk about the scenario that I just mentioned about the next leg. Okay, so another thing, why I'm using the guidelines only to these points here. You guys who saw my previous videos since a long time know that I'm not using the extended lines, okay? And I'm going to explain again why, and also tell you what is the biggest mistake happening out there right now. So just a moment. Okay, so the first thing, those lines are not trend lines, okay? They are guidelines, and guidelines are aligned with valid pivots. If we don't have a valid pivot, it is not right, it is wrong. And then what is going to happen? Now take a look at this. So for example, a fact is 1 and 2. This is a speculative line because we need at least 3 points and one far away from the other. That's the way to measure the whole period, okay? It won't work if you have one here, and one here. And you know, I'm going to tell you why. If you look on Investopedia, they will say this is valid. But the problem is, what they don't say, it's this the two occurrences. Let's say we have two here. They constitute the same line for Elliott theory. That's one of the reasons they can't stay close to each other. Okay, but only a few people out there can measure and understand Elliott theory. But yeah, so let's go for the line here and the mistake. What is happening out there? Yes. So folks, the thing here is people are calling this a bull break and this a retest before bullish continuation. Okay. First, we are going to address the mistake and then we are going to take a look for the possible scenario. And so let's start here from the beginning, just a moment. Okay, so why I am addressing only these scenarios? Because they are valid pivots, okay? And so if I do this, this is wrong. And why this is wrong? Because here, we don't have any valid pivot. We don't. So just for clarification, what is a pivot? So price is going up, and then we are going to make a pivot, and then we go down. So this is another pivot. So it's a point. There is a way to measure. I already explained this in previous videos. So without a valid pivot, what happens? The movement is not over yet, okay? But can be soon, or can be tomorrow, or even today, we don't know. This is the reason we don't address such levels, okay? And again, another side, this is a reflection, the outcome of a mistake. Technical analysis without fundamentals. So what happens? So they are calling this a bull break, right? Now let's take a look on all the levels. For the valid ones that are not about speculation. Let me clean this guy here. And also this one here. We have a valid pivot here. And this is the key scenario. This is the key one. Because, remember, what is a bull break? A bull break is a point when we made a new high beating the previous high, which holds a valid pivot. If there is no valid pivot, there is no bull break. Basic rule. So, in order to have a bull break here, we need to beat the previous one. Okay? And if we are able to beat the previous one behind this one, then it's going to be price discovery. Okay? So it's a step-by-step fundamental after fundamental, validation after validation, but there is no such thing as confirmation in technical analysis. Okay, so again, they're calling this move a bull break, but there is no bull break here yet. So far, this is still a lower high. Okay, just for the sake of this example, let's say, okay, now we are speculating. Okay, let's say this guy right here, it's this is it. We're not going up from here. Okay, and what we are going to end up with, high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, Then we are going to look for another higher low before what? Before blasting the roof. So this outcome, this line here is not a funny line, okay? Because people who trade patterns and understand patterns and the outcome of patterns, there is a measure that we use to identify the targets, which is in our trading setup. So things are not for, from the pockets or from the hats. No, we use math on everything, in measuring pivots, measuring targets, etc., etc. So, just for you guys to have an idea, just a second, is this one right here. This is the proper way to use Elliott setup. But so far, there is no validation for the Elliott setup here, Elliott theory. There is no, because the last line is not there, so it's speculation. Okay, and when you see people making things like this, for example, this is the Hackett land. Okay, this is wrong. This doesn't work. This is guys works because they don't know or understand the fundamentals. Okay, so things that we have to look here. First one is, let's take out this guy here just for a second. So if they are able to continue high and beat the previous level, we can go for a bigger pattern before the bull break, which means it would reset the whole setup for something like this. Presuming we are not going to take out the previous high, okay? And then sell again or something like this, doesn't matter. We are just talking about a possible scenario. But so there are chances for bullish continuation here, okay? But the thing is, we have another issue to look at. Second, and we can go for the weekly as well. Let's jump into the weekly. Just a moment. Okay, hold your head, screw your jets. I'll be fast here. I like the things straight. Just a moment, please. Okay, folks. So everything that we have here is valid. Okay, there is no speculation here. What is this red line? This red line right here. Yes. So this red line is September. In September we have two problems. The harvest season happens in September, around 19, 21, and 23. Depends on the culture you are living. But let me show you another thing, because a lot of people were asking me about this. And I made many videos already explaining this and what follows and why it follows. So, the first harvest after the hyperbolic, it was the first, let me see. Yes. So the first harvest, the second harvest, and the next harvest is right here. So back in the day, we were trading and we shorted the market, not only Bitcoin, we shorted other assets as well. Right here was before the Beckett launch. I think you guys remember, was at 23 of September. I was calling for bear break. We are going down. People said that I was crazy. You are nuts, Houston. You have no idea what we are talking about. And we end up right again, and we make big profits in a short time frame. So, and not only that, let me show you something else here. So the red one stands for the harvest, the blue stands for the winter, Yule festival. Some of you guys are aware of the dates, when it happens, why it happens, what they celebrate, and etc. Back in the day, traded around here, and also right here we had inverted head and shoulders here. I think you guys remember, and we made a lot of profits. But then we had this bullish continuation setup that broke bearish following the C19 event. Okay, I think you guys remember, it's a recent event. So now back to our stuff. Just a second. Yeah, so we know by a matter of fact that we are going up and we have decreasing volume and we are just close to the harvest season. Okay, believe it or not, there's a lot of people calling for moon new highs, and I'm expecting the same thing to happen again, because yeah, it looks like some people have short memory and things end up in a bad way. So another thing, if you're familiar with my methodology, these are low, oops, just a second, are low, or battle of midway, and possibly our high, or even a lower high, doesn't matter where we land. If it's still below the previous one, 13.8086.55 will still be a lower high. Okay, and we are very close to September and also from the harvest. My methodology, it can also be read like this, which is the low, the battle of midway, and the high. Okay, we can see this behavior in many assets: the dollar, Bitcoin, Tesla, Dow Jones, and etc. So now let's take a look. Oh, okay, so let's talk about these candles right here to have a better understanding of what's happening. So we had this 45% rejection, which was expected. Let me show you the key levels. Yeah, so this move was expected. Smart bears playing behind the lines, nothing new. And then the second one, trading inside bar trade, not a bull break. The third one, still inside bar, inside trade, trading inside the previous rejection. It's bearish. Okay. So now let's go for the 3 days. Just a second, please. Okay, let's go. Just a second. Oh, so just a moment. Let me take out these lines. Hold on. Just one more second. Almost there. Okay, let's go. Days. Yes, great. Let me use my tool. Okay, fantastic. So folks, what we have here, back in the day, all this behavior here was bearish. Okay, but still we had a lot of buyers pressure, which was very significant, and then we had the dollar bear breaking the dollar right here, just before the bull break here. Okay, and this turned into a continuation pattern. So right now, like we just saw, we are still trading inside the previous rejection, which is this guy right here, and this is bearish so far. Okay, for now this candle stands for the bearish spinning top, not all the way bearish, it's still green, so not a big deal so far. But we have a problem here, which is this kind of behavior, it's bearish, and I'm going to show you this is happening many times already. So the big one here, that a lot of people freaked out, and I showed the charts and was calling that we were going to defend this level, and we defended, no news. So, but still, it was aggressive candle. And let's take a look here for the accurate levels. So as you guys can see, the tail for the big one was a breach, a whole breach, okay, which is a red sign. Yes, it is, because when the market maker do his moves and he uses numbers that looks like random, or or it's just there, oh, it just happened. No, 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 no. They use straight numbers, okay? So after, let's use the square here. So as you guys can see, all this price behavior here still inside bar and inside the previous sell candle. And we know why this candle is here. A lot of people were longing Bitcoin with high leverage, and yeah, the exchanges and other market makers had to step to wipe out these people, and so they wiped out the longs and right after the shorts, because people start to pile up short positions. But so again, remember this scenario here. We're going to take a closer look. Let's go for it. Let's jump into the 4 hours. Oh, sorry. The last rejection, and right now we have what? A bearish abandoned baby inside the rejection area. Okay, and we have a perpetual setup for Bitcoin on the 4 hours. Yes, we have. Just a second. Right here. Yes. So we were going for, yes, the 4 hours. That's correct. So this is the perpetual setup for Bitcoin on the 4 hours chart. And now let me show you all that behavior, bearish behavior that we talked about. And let's take a look how many times it happened. So this was the first one. This was the second one. The third one. And we are going for the fourth one. The problem with this kind of behavior, it's because the bullish ones, they are inverted. Okay, so we go straight up, and then we go down, and then we go up, and then we go down, then we go up, down, and then bull break. And in this scenario right here, it's flipped. It's behaving in the other way. And in the other way, this way, sorry, I'm talking about the other way, but yeah. So this price behavior, it's bullish. It's also the mirror trend theory. And this kind of price behavior here, it's bearish, okay? Because has a corrective nature, or in other words, price catching up, okay? Let me see. Oh, okay, so in the bigger picture, the big one is this one right here, which is also bearish, okay? I'm not saying this is bearish at the point that we go straight down. No, 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 no. We're not talking about a big bear break. We're talking about a bearish behavior, not a bearish scenario, something that is defined already, okay? And another thing that we have to watch out for, all this region right here, there is a lot of volume here, okay? And so it is likely for Bitcoin to go down and then continue developing something, looking for a bull break from the 12,000 range. And there is another thing here. Oh, okay, I was missing this one, just a second. So the previous high, 12,100, and the previous high was a marginal lower high $20. Okay, but it's still a lower high, right? And not only that, we just talked about this bearish, even we can go even from here, this bearish approach from price, because if we take a look, the bears needed only 2 days. Sorry, the bears only needed 2 days to do their stuff, and the bulls are working on their way for 2, 9, 10, so for 8 days to end up with a lower high. This is not bullish, but can be at some point in the near future. And yeah, so guys, I think this is it for now. Okay, we in the Champions Club, we are waiting for another lower high. Doesn't matter where it's going to happen, but and then we will look for open new longs. We closed the first ones right here, and then we long it again, and we closed. Oh no! Just a second. We closed. Yeah, I think we closed it here, the ones we had from the 9,000 range. And then yesterday we had longs here as well for 50x, and we closed it right here because we identified there was no follow through on volume, and they set at a lower high, and so we closed our longs right here. Okay, so yeah. So guys, I think this is it for now. I hope this analysis can help you in the way you read the charts, maybe in your trading setup or your analysis. And yeah, thanks for your time, thanks for your patience, thanks for your support as well. Don't forget to smash the like button. You guys can do it for free. It will only take 1 second of your time. And don't forget to subscribe as well, okay? So guys, I will see you guys soon. Have a nice day or a nice night, and see ya.